Hi guys, it's Katie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, I guess, if you're new here. Today we are starting a video that I've wanted to do for a while, but I just haven't felt like I had the time to do it, and I think this is gonna be a good time to start it. This is gonna be, I saw Destiny, I think I saw Destiny Sidwell do this, and Sarah Caroli. We are gonna be reading until we get a 5-star read, okay? Right now, it is currently August 24th, and I have not had a 5-star read in a minute. I actually just posted this like 40-minute long video talking about how all the books I read in June and July, and how like none of them really hit for me, and how badly I want to read something good. I'm trying to get there, trying to read things, like I just would like to read better things, like things I actually enjoy. Last night, I decided I was going to start this video because I started reading The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I have not seen the Netflix, but I just started reading it last night. I got 25% of the way through. It's a really short book, so that's not surprising. I recently bought AirPod Maxes, and I had these on last night with the ambiance video I found on YouTube, which is so good. Maybe I'll link that in the description. If you're reading this book, I highly suggest listening to that while you're reading. It just put me in the Summer I Turned Pretty universe. I have not seen the Netflix show yet. I'm not watching it until I'm done reading these. So anyways, I put the headphones on. I was in the moment. I was in the universe. I was just, I was loving it. I was sucking it up, okay? And I got 25% of the way through. Obviously, this is not like a revolutionary work of fiction. It's like young adult girls being girls. Like the girls are girling, Belly's trying to decide between two brothers. Who doesn't love that? A lot of people have been comparing this to like the modern day Twilight, but like no vampires, because she's like, there's a love triangle, you know. I don't know how true that is, but so far it's pretty cute and I'm liking it. Obviously it has its problems, but I'm just enjoying it. I'm having fun. So I'm hoping after we read this, the next thing I need to read is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm actually reading this for book club this month. So as soon as I'm done with The Summer I Turned Pretty, usually I would go on to the next one, but I think I'm gonna wait to go to the next one and go straight into Red Rising because I have to finish this in like 5 or 6 days. So I'm hoping this will be done pretty quickly. Red Rising is a sci-fi. I'm super excited about this. Haley Pham, this is one of her, I think, 6-star reads. And I'm hoping I get that vibe from it. And if that's the case, this is gonna be a really short video. But if that's not the case, we have something else that I think could be a 5-star read for me and has been on the back burner for a long time. Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Okay guys, this book has been on my radar for, I can't even tell you how long, since 2018 when it was written, I think. I actually talked about it in my big reading video that's like 40 minutes long. It's like a TBR and a book haul. It's the last one I probably did on this channel when you're seeing this video. But I bought this in 2018, sold it to a secondhand bookstore because I was like, I'm not going to read it. And then I saw it at a secondhand store when I was in Oregon, and I was like, I really loved Daughter of Smoke and Bone, so I want to pick this up. I love her writing style, Laini Taylor's, and I just think she's a magical goddess. I love what she writes. So that's our reading order we have right now. The Summer I Turned Pretty, Red Rising, Strange the Dreamer, and hopefully we stay in that order. I'm very much a mood reader, so who knows what I'm going to feel like. I might just randomly pick up a book that's been on my shelves for over a year and decide that that's what I want to read that day. Like the other day I was looking at The Wrath and the Dawn, which I've had for literally over a year, maybe 2 years. I've never picked it up, and I was like, why do I kind of want to read that right now for no reason? Anywho, that's where we're at right now. This video ends when we get a 5-star read. I know it's not going to be The Summer I Turned Pretty, even though it rocks. It's not a work of art, okay? Sorry, Jenny Han. It's just a fun time. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like 5 stars are like, holy crap, this is amazing. And like, yeah, this is really good, but it's not. I think you guys understand. I'm over explaining this. Okay. That's my plan. Let's hope this video, for my sake, is really short. For your sake, maybe this video goes on for 6 months. I don't know. I really don't even know what to say, you guys. You saw me bawling. My mom had breast cancer, and I've also had like several other family members in my family who struggled with the fight against cancer, and I've been through that. I don't know if that's why it got to me, or if it's just like, I don't know. I have to say, this is the first Jenny Han I've ever read. I never read To All the Boys I Loved before or anything else. And she, although the like reading level is obviously for teens, like, or younger people, like it's not, I think I said this the other day. It's not a masterpiece. Like, it's not like a, what's it called? Like, the plot's not incredibly masterful or anything like that. The characters aren't like crazy. Well, I guess the characters are pretty well developed, but she just captures what it's like to be a teenage girl so well. Like, so many things that Belly says. By the way, I finished the book. I didn't say that, but she captures what it's like to be a teenage girl so well. Like, any teenage girl I know, I would so highly recommend this to you. I can't explain it. There's like so many things that Belly says that I'm like, wow, I remember feeling that way so clearly. Like, the experience of being a teenage girl is so unique to teenage girls, I guess. There's like no other real way to like explain it. The part where Belly says like nothing fits her right anymore because she's got boobs, and she's like talking about how like everything's weird, like she's like having a hard time finding clothes that fit her right. Relatable to any girl that's grown up. There's also just the way that like she is in relationships, and like how she like deals with like her first kiss or with boys, or the first date she goes on, or, you know, stuff like that. Like, her internal monologue is so true to being a teenage girl. Like, I can't even explain it. So many things she says and does that I'm like, wow, I relate to that so much. And I bet as a young girl, so many girls that read this when they're the age that's like this is speaking to feel really connected to the story and feel really seen, which is really magical. And I feel like I haven't read many other things that give me that feeling. I read a lot of like YA dystopian or like fantasy when I was a kid, and most of the time those girls, like, they're not really struggling in the like superficial, I guess, ways that normal teenage girls struggle. They have some of the like, oh, lack of confidence or whatever, but it's so inflated because they're usually like fighting a government or something. In this book, you just get plain old teenage girl and like life. Like, obviously the cancer and that part of the story, like, that's obviously like maybe something that not everybody has to deal with, but it's still very real life. And I thought it was done so well here. I did think Conrad was an asshole for most of this, and Jeremiah is just the sweetest, but I think the ending makes it make more sense, and maybe we'll see him develop. I don't know. I'm nervous about that part, honestly, but I'm really excited about this series. Like, I did not think I would love this much or finish it in like a day, basically. But it's a really quick read. If you guys are interested in it at all, I do actually highly recommend this. I like was bordering on rating this 5 stars, but I've got to say the writing is kind of cheesy, and there is like parts of it's definitely written for young girls, okay? So I don't feel like I can rate it 5 stars. I think 5-star for a young adult book that it is, but in my like current day life, what I rate it is 4 stars, which is very high rating. I like this more than a lot of things I've read, and I'm just like, I'm very impressed with it. So I'm gonna sit on the review for a little bit and kind of just admire it before I like write everything down and put it on Goodreads. But I'm actually really surprised. Jenny Han, way to go. And now I don't know if I can watch season 1 yet or not. I feel like I might be able to, but I might wait until I've read all 3 books to watch it. So, exciting stuff. Good things here. Now to figure out what I'm going to pick up next. Am I going to force myself to read Red Rising, or do I want to jump into the next Summer I Turned Pretty book? I think we might be going to Red Rising because I have to read this for book club. But I do have the audiobooks for Summer I Turned Pretty, and the cool thing about the audiobooks, I think they were redone since the show came out, and the girl that plays Belly narrates all of them, which is super cool, actually. Like, really neat to have her voicing the books as well as the show. Feels very in-universe, in line with everything. Did like that. I listened to the audiobook for a portion of this when I was working. But yeah, okay. What do I go on to next? I'm not sure, but in the next clip I will have decided that. We are about to dive into Red Rising. This is I'm doing the mature thing. I'm reading the book club book, okay? Book club, if you're watching this, I did this for you, okay? I'm doing this for you. Good morning reading vlog. I'm wearing my Yellowstone Wolf t-shirt, so that's how you know it's going to be a good ass day, okay? I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. I guess that's what I should update you on. Last night I went and had dinner with a few friends, and I read don't ask me why I'm blending my concealer out with this brush. This is the most random brush ever to blend concealer out with, but for some reason it's what I'm doing. So, just stand by, alright? Anyways, last night I read a bunch of... I honestly did myself so dirty, you guys. I was reading the second book in a Summer I Turned Pretty. What's it called? I can't remember what the second one is. I think it's Not Summer Without You. Wow, I'm gonna get a little spoilery here a little bit for The Summer I Turned Pretty. This isn't gonna ruin the book for you, but okay, well maybe, I don't know, I knew this would happen, but I didn't know how, and I'm just gonna talk about it. So if you want to not be spoiled for The Summer I Turned Pretty, which you probably don't care because it came out a million years ago, and I'm one of 5 people that hasn't watched it or seen it, then skip ahead like 20 seconds, okay? What I'm gonna say is I cannot believe that Susanna's death happens off screen, like off page, like in between books. I'm wondering if we're gonna get more. I mean, I just saw the funeral portion, and I'm like wondering if we're gonna get more details as we go. But I really could not believe that they decided to not have, like, I don't know, a lead up to that. I was fully expecting that to happen. Also, Susanna's husband cheated on her. Ew. Ew, why did he do that? I thought that they were awesome together and everything was, I don't know. Also, okay, this is gonna be maybe so toxic of me, but I don't feel like Belly's outburst at the funeral was unwarranted. I don't, I'm sorry. I'm reading the outburst and I'm like, yeah, I would be pissed too. I don't even know the reason they broke up, but I know it was Conrad being an asshole. Like, I know it was, because he is an asshole. Like, let's all be real here. We all know Conrad's kind of a dick. Sorry, I'm the only one brave enough to say it. I don't know. I don't think grief, like, believe me, you're going through shit, Conrad. I get it. But I don't think that grief is an excuse to treat people badly. I don't. I understand you're going through stuff and, like, shit sucks, but, like, I don't know. Everyone around Conrad seems to, like, let this be his excuse for why he's treating Belly like shit. And I just don't think that Belly deserves to be treated like shit at all. Also, this is like I know it's not her mom, but it's very much a mom figure to her. Like, someone who did a lot for her and she's like clearly not happy about losing. And so, like, it's not like she's not also grieving. I thought it was peculiar to start the book off like that, especially when you find out that Belly and Conrad actually did date, and it's like now a long time after that. And they like went to prom together and all this junk, you know what I'm saying? And apparently, like, this all happened off page when you first start the book. I'm sure we're gonna get all the flashbacks that explain everything, but it kind of makes me sad because I want to see like the actual relationship, but maybe it'll be good at the end of it because it'll make it so that like you still have like the, what's it called? Like the angst and the pining, because you aren't really seeing their relationship play out on page, if that makes sense. But anyways, instead of reading freaking Red Rising, I was reading The Summer I Turned Pretty because I'm actually having a good time reading it. I do need to stop my bullshit though, because I have to read Red Rising. Like, I need to get some of it done. I need to break into it at least a couple chapters before I go back to reading whatever the fuck I want to read. So I'm gonna try my best to do that today and not be dumb. Okay, guys? We can't be reading, we can't be fucking around and finding out. We need to be reading this book for my book club so that I can go to this meeting and have like a beautiful talk about literature. Like, be an educated woman, alright? And I think I'm gonna start reading it as soon as I was gonna say hang up with you guys, but we're obviously not on the phone. We're on a vlog. I picked out all my like annotation stuff and I thought that would give me hype, but I'm not in the mood for this right now, and that's dangerous territory for me. Because I don't want it to make me not like this book, but I'm just not in the mood. I want just like, The Summer I Turned Pretty vibes are on 10, guys. And they're so, ow. Ugh. The Summer I Turned Pretty books are so fun because they are so short that it's like so easy to feel accomplished when I'm reading them. Like I know they're so little and tiny that I can read them in like a couple hours and be like, wow, I finished a book, and feel good about my month. Because I haven't been finishing books lately. I've like DNF'd a lot of stuff. That was the first book I finished in a really long time. I just finished I've read up to chapter 5 of Red Rising. Guys, this book is amazing. Like, I really have so many good things I could say about this, but I'm just gonna leave it at wow. That's all of the tabs I have. Can you see those? Literally look at how many there is already. And I'm only 37 pages in. It is intense, it's thick, it's dense, it's taking me a lot longer to read. This isn't gonna be a fun, fast little read. It's gonna be a deep situation for me because there is so much going on here, and there's a lot of terms being thrown around and used, and I am like, we're getting notes all inside of here because this is just such a great, it's what fantasy and sci-fi are made for. A lot of commentary on obedience, society, duty, what it means to earn things, the way a government can shape your mind. There is a lot of deep themes in this, and I am really, really loving it. Georgia just called me and she's almost at Costco, and we're gonna go shopping today, so I'm gonna go meet her, and then when I come home, I'm gonna read some more because I'm like fully engulfed in this world and everything about it. It's got a very interesting setting right now. They're like underground in Mars. It's giving Skyward, the society in Skyward, how they're like in tunnels, living in tunnels underground. They're living in tunnels underground on Mars here. And I love Darrow, and I really love Io and their relationship, and Io's depiction as a wife is really, it's really iconic. Okay, like I said, have to go because Georgia will kill me if I'm super late, but we're gonna go shop at Costco and I'll check back in with you guys later. Just popping in, guys, to let you know how my reading is going. It is Saturday. I think I talked to you guys once today already, or maybe I just took B-roll clips. That's probably what I did, actually. I read a little bit more of Red Rising today. I'm having a hard time getting through this. 154 pages in, not because the book is bad, the book's actually really good, but it's just like, I've been reading stupid, dumb, light, fun romances for so long that like now reading something that like I actually have to use my brain for. It's like more to digest for me, so I'm reading it slower, and I'm really savoring every page. Look at all the annotations. We are only 150 pages into this book, so that's actually freaking crazy. Like I said, loving it so much. I have to finish it by next Friday, I think, for book club. So I need to get on my bullshit. But I'm going to take a break from reading this. I might listen to The Summer I Turned Pretty tonight. I'm on book 2, which is It's Not Summer Without You. I'm at the point where, which by the way, I'm going to be spoiling The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I'm sorry if you don't want it spoiled, but I'm at the point where Conrad is missing in the second book, and she's just now meeting up with Jeremiah. So I might listen to that at some point. For now, I'm going to take a little break and watch a YouTube video because I just want to vibe out for a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to update you guys and let you know. I don't know if it's gonna be 5-star or not. It is really up there for me. It's gonna depend. I don't think I'm in deep enough to say it's giving 4-star for sure. And there's a lot of this that makes me feel 5-star, but at the same time, I don't know. Oh my goodness, hello book friends. It's been a minute, okay? And by a minute, I mean a few days. So, you know how I said I was gonna read, all of this? After I read the first Summer I Turned Pretty book, I couldn't get it out of my head, okay? I finished the second one and I finished the third one today, and now it is like finally purged from my system and I feel like I can move on with my life. I do feel very accomplished getting 3 books done this month. Tomorrow is the 31st of August, so it's actually also my book club meeting, so I think I'm gonna read some Red Rising tonight and get back into this. I am really loving this book and I really liked it. It's just that like I had read Summer I Turned Pretty before I started this, and it like, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like stuck in between 2 things, and I couldn't pick what I want. Like I needed to finish Summer I Turned Pretty before I could get to this. Like going from like Taylor Swift vibe, Summer I Turned Pretty, to live for the hope of it all, to like the world is ending and everything sucks and it's sci-fi and like it's really good, but like the vibes were just, I needed to get Summer I Turned Pretty out of my brain, okay? I feel like I should like finish talking about Summer I Turned Pretty before I talk about anything with Red Rising, so let's do that. The last book, I did not super love the ending. I'm sad that we didn't see more of, I don't know, I don't want to spoil too much the last book, and so I'm not going to say a lot about it, but there is elements of it I didn't love. I feel like I still rated it 4 stars because I just like feel like the series as a whole is a 4-star series. It's pretty freaking good. It's definitely written for young women and like teens, but like I still loved it. Really not even young women, it's just written for teens. But I still loved it and I ate it up, and the summer vibes were chef's kiss. Really super enjoyed them. But yeah. Now I am gonna be switching gears into Red Rising. I didn't rate any of the Summer I Turned Pretty books 5 stars, and I'm hoping this is gonna be my 5-star read. I'm like feeling excited to jump into it now. I feel like I've given Summer I Turned Pretty enough breathing room to like have it out with me and tear my emotions up, and now I can move on to this. And also I'm watching Haley Pham's reading vlog that she just posted, and she's reading the last book, and she is actually who inspired me to read this in the first place, because she's not really a sci-fi girly. I do love sci-fi, and I love high fantasy, so I was like, if she likes it, I'm probably gonna like it because she doesn't read this and she's enjoying it. That is that. I just needed to check in with this vlog and let you guys know where I'm at. It's been like, this vlog is going longer than I thought. Hopefully this is our 5-star read and this is a short vlog, but if not, I have more books I can read that might be 5 stars, so. Hello reading vlog. I need to go grab something and then we're gonna talk, okay? I think this reading vlog might be ending a lot sooner than we originally thought, but I don't know. We'll see, because I read Red Rising last night and I could not stop reading it. I read till 2 a.m. and then peeled myself off of this book, okay? I am at page 318. I think there's only 3. There's like, I think a little less than 400 pages in this book, so I don't have a lot left of this, and it's all I can think about. I dreamt about it. It's literally just taking up every piece of space in my head right now, and I cannot wait to finish it today. There have been times where I've gotten the 5-star feeling, but there was a lot of times where I was not getting the 5-star feeling, so I don't know. Like, I'm so torn between whether it's gonna be 4 or 5 stars, and I think what's gonna help me decide this is gonna be just the ending and what I think of it. Where do I even begin with this book? It's so good, you guys. Like, so good. A lot of people compare it to The Hunger Games, which I can kind of see, but I like it better than The Hunger Games for a lot of reasons. And I love Darrow's arc right now. I call him Darrow. I know some people call him Darrow. I feel like it's Darrow. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's That is what I have known him in my head as. So sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But yeah, I am literally obsessed with his arc and the way things are moving. And especially towards the end of the book, what Darrow ends up doing and how he organizes himself. Like, sorry, this earring is hard to get in, guys. It's hurting. Do you ever do this? You're like, yeah, the earring hurts like fuck to put in, but like we're doing it anyways. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, I got it. We're good. My second hole's like never, I pierced them when I got them pierced when I was literally like 13, but they never fully healed. And like every time I put them in, it doesn't feel great. Just letting you know. Yeah, but I love Darrow. I love his arc. I love everything about this little school and the characters, and Severo is my favorite character. He's been my favorite character ever since like pretty much the beginning. I'm a huge fan. I am excited to see where this leads and what ends up happening. A lot of crazy things have happened, a lot of plot twists and turns, and I'm hoping it's a 5-star because that would be awesome, and I haven't had a 5-star read in a long time. And I'm going to need to run to Barnes & Noble and get the second one and read it immediately. Look at all of those. You can't tell me I didn't love that. Hello guys, I just, well not just, it was probably about an hour ago, finished Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And guys, you might be sad about this, and I hope I have enough clips in this to actually make a video of it, but this ends this video. 5-star read. It only took 4 books, and honestly they were all good books, so it makes me feel like I should do this more often. I liked it so much that I went and I got Golden Sun, which I am like very, very, very excited about. I don't know, I haven't even read the back of this book yet because I bought it before I finished Red Rising, but I think I'm gonna read this next because I'm just so excited about these books. And the ending, I thought there would be a big crazy twist, which there kind of was, but not to the like depth that I thought we would get. I'm like really blown away by the series. I can't, like, I mean, look at that, guys. I can't believe it. But let's talk about the books that I read, all the books that I read leading up to this, okay? Really, there wasn't that many books leading up to this. I mean, there was just one series before this, and that was The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. This book really just blew me out of the water, surprised me. I was really impressed with this book. I had been told by some people that it was like fun but dumb, like you'll like it in a dumb way, and I actually liked it in a serious way. You can see my annotations. This was really relatable. I felt like being a teenager again, and like hearing all the things I used to say and do, and I don't know, I feel like I was validating my teenage self in a way. There was a lot of things in here that I related to. It is not as back and forth as people make it, and it's definitely not as messy as people make it. I feel like all the actions in this book makes sense to me, and I liked the arc of Belly. I thought it was great. It definitely is written for teenage girls. You can tell when you're reading it, the writing level is like not super high, but that doesn't ruin the book. If I can read something written for someone younger than me and still really enjoy it and value it, I feel like that just goes to show how good of a book it truly is. So I read this, I rated it 4 stars. Then I read the second book, which is It's Not Summer Without You, which I also really loved. I think that was my, I don't know. I think this one, I don't know what one was my favorite, honestly. I liked them all equally. But It's Not Summer Without You, I read that. I also rated it 4 stars. I thought it was a really good book. I thought it was interesting. I feel like, same things I said about this. I don't want to spoil anything for it really, but same things I said about this. It depicted what it's like to be a teenage girl really well. It's written for younger audiences, but I still really enjoyed it. I thought there was a lot of more mature themes in here. Not mature as in like adult, but mature as in like the mom, like Susanna, and all of that happening, like in just life and how life goes and how people deal with things. I thought that was really interesting, and I was really happy with it. And then I read the last book, which is of course We'll Always Have Summer, which again I rated 4 stars. I wished that there was more shown of her falling in love. I feel like we missed that with both brothers, and I wish that with the brother that she ends up with, we saw more of like them falling in love, not just the they already are in love, or the end scene that you get with the final brother, which I mean, we all called it. You all know who it's going to be. as soon as you start reading. But yeah, I did really like these, and 4-star series. That's pretty high remarks for me, because I didn't think I was going to rate it that high. I thought they'd be 3 stars. And then finally, the book that ended it all, Red Rising. This is complete opposite direction of this. And these are my two personalities, really. Like, dumb, fun summer romance. Extremely, like, intricately woven, intense, psychological, political, thrilling sci-fi novel with, like, this much romance. This was so good. Loved it so much. I haven't read a book like this from this genre in a really long time, especially not something that's from the adult genre, and I'm just, like, really impressed with this book and with Pierce Brown. I love his writing style. It's just different. I really enjoyed it, and I love sci-fi, so reading a sci-fi was comforting and fun, and it reminded me of so many of my favorite books. I got a lot of, obviously there's Hunger Games, which people a lot of times compare this to Hunger Games, and I'm not going to go so far as to talk about it the way other people do, because I guess it kind of is a Hunger Games premise, but honestly, it reminded me a lot of Brandon Sanderson's Skyward, and also Ender's Game a little bit. I don't know, really, it does have, like, the Hunger Games symbolism part I can see, but yeah, I, like, really, really loved this book, and this is one of those books where it's gonna be, like, sitting with me for a very long time, and I think the characters in this were really great. I love Severo, and I love Roke, and I hope that they continue through the other books. One can only really hope. But I'm going to end the video here. I did not expect to just read one series and then this book and then have a 5-star. I really thought this video could be going on for, like, as long as a month. I'm happy that I didn't have to do that. But yeah, if you guys like the book videos, let me know in the comments. Tell me how you feel. If you read the Summer I Turned Pretty series, let me know. If you've read Red Rising, let me know. If this inspires you to read those books, let me know. If you have a recommendation for me, comments as well. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more stuff. And yeah, thanks for reading with me over the last week. I had a really great time, and I'm very, very happy with how my reading went. 4 books in, like, a week is kind of big for me, because I do work very often, like, a lot, so being able to read 4 books in a week is, like, crazy. I also just this was the 30th book I read this year, which makes me feel really cool, because my reading goal for the year was 20, and the last 2 years my reading goal has only been 20 books, because I've been afraid that I wouldn't be able to hit 30. When I have ambitious years, I usually use 30 as my goal, and the fact that I've already met 30 and I'm only in September, about to be in September, makes me feel really neat. Makes me feel pretty cool, I've got to say. So, anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I had a 5-star read. Finally. It feels like forever, guys. This is exactly what I needed. Okay. I'm out of here.